What's up, y'all? Good Monday. Good to see y'all. Listen, y'all. If y'all don't know, this is TFG Tonight, and I'm your host, Mr. Haynes. And this is the best morning show that you can watch at night. Y'all listen, that's Devin, that's Lee, and that's Kenny.
I'm trying to be nice.
Black said we got two Americas.
Let's say to my brother Black, man, I think you could be a preacher. I ain't never heard somebody that use a curse word and then read a scripture right after.
So let me state for the record, I am a misogynist. You know?
Yeah.
Pull out your card, Doc. He's
and I'm a chauvinist as well. Anybody who knows me knows that.
That's right.
Now I can go back to minding my own business.
True.
Either that boy is Benjamin Button or somebody lying.
And listen, and that boy may be mentally 12, but he's 34.
You bad boy, you don't do it again.
I'll let Black articulate a little bit better than that.
Nope.
Okay.
Never mind.
It's good for the soul. It's like medicine, right?
Yeah, for real.
That's all I gotta say. I wish I had one of them applause buttons to, like it.
Good morning, y'all. Happy Monday.
Hey, everybody. Woo-wee. It's been 7 days since we see y'all. And I'm not going to play around because Kenny got to get up in the morning, so I'm not going to mess around because I want every hour he can give me. Hey, y'all. Y'all all right?
What's happening? What up?
Days.
Was that Tony Braxton? Ooh,
Yeah, that's Tony
right,
B.
Get me started. All right, listen, I remember that day. All right. Oh my goodness. Hey, look at they already coming. Hey, Brittany.
Hey, Brittany.
Hey, what's up,
right?
Brittany?
She says she can't stand it when we don't talk to her. So we talking to you today. All right. Hey, Carol on here.
No, super fan.
Yeah, what up, CC? What's happening?
Oh, I ain't see her. Hey, Carol.
Yeah, she there. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, good. Well, listen, y'all, I'm not going to play around. Y'all know what it is. It's Talking Point Tip Jar. If we say something, that is scrolling at the bottom. Please feel free to give us love as you please. We do like the kind of jingles, but we also love the kind of folks. Thank you very much in my McDowell voice. But, ladies and gentlemen, we have only a few days left before it is that time of the year where the purge will be taking place. And he's doing his thing. But listen, I ain't gonna talk too much about him because listen, he gonna get these fools right. I just have a question. What do y'all think about these reverse reparations? Have y'all heard about that?
I have.
Black, tell me what you're thinking about these reverse reparations. This is crazy.
Well, here's where again I gotta say he's being true to his character, and he recognizes his legacy is at stake. And whatever you think about him, he's accomplished something that you just don't see. He is officially a 2-term president. In all likelihood, he is going to go down as one of the greatest presidents, whether we acknowledge it or not. He will be, in my opinion, spoken of in the same veins of Ronald Reagan and Abraham Lincoln, because my mother said a long time ago, one fool makes many. And he said it loud enough, long enough, until he spoke it into existence. And the truth of the matter is he's playing right into his base before he gets in office. Now, whether he will be able to accomplish that, but in reality, this is food for their ears. He surrounded himself by fully white cabinet, white men in positions of power. And that is exactly what they want to see out of him, because behind the scenes, I believe fully, as we get into this, we are about to see a puppet regime. I'm going to say no more.
That goes without saying. Listen, he is about to really make America great again. Now, who's going to be great? I don't know. Alexander, maybe. Who knows? But Kenny, these reparation reversals, I mean, he said enough of y'all talking down to our minority whites.
I mean, I'm not surprised. He disgusts me. He's a disgusting human being. That's plain and simple. He's a typical white man. And you know what? I'm not gonna say that because all white men are like that. But the majority in that age group and that 70 on up, they mentality is from the 40s, 50s, and 60s, man, and they ain't changing. And you look at what he's doing with his cabinet that he's basically he's putting together, and of course, so black folks, get that reparation stuff out your mind. It ain't happening.
Gone. Yes, sir.
So it is what it is.
Yeah, sister. I know you don't like it. Just must up just a little bit for me. Just, I know how you feel about them earlier before we started, but what you think about these reversals?
I think Trump is just going to throw a lot of random stuff out there because y'all know most bills and things like that go into play or voted on at a local level. So I think people are just going to he almost just talk like it's almost like he's just getting off on the power. You know what I'm saying? Like the more dumb stuff he say, the more fools in the background going, yeah. So he just going to keep saying stupid stuff. A lot of these things, he may get something to happen, but most of it would be like him having that wall built that we still been waiting on all these years to be built by the Mexican community. He's just going to keep saying a lot of things, and a lot of people are just going to be excited to hear it. But a lot of things won't actually come to pass. Some things will, but obviously he's exciting his brainless, mindless followers.
Yes,
but I will say this, Lady D. This time though, he's stacking the chips in his favor because the Congress he got both the House and Senate. He got it. He can really do some things.
He's not the first one to do that. It's happened in the past, a long time ago, when a lot of more things were acceptable. And I think if there was back in the day, they definitely would have had a lot of things put in place. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like I don't even think he wants a lot of the things to happen that he says. I really just think he's trying to excite that side.
I want to add this last part to it because y'all know I'm real big on my movie lines. Denzel Washington's line in the movie, he says, when you pray for rain, you have to deal with the mud. Quiet is kept. I like the fact that they have full control. There's nobody to blame.
Right.
You are arming yourself with your billionaire friends. You are putting people in positions that's not qualified, but you won't be able to now look across the aisle and say, we can blame the Democrats, this, that, or the other, because now this really is your moment. It's going to fall on you. And I want to throw one name out there at the beginning of this show. Think of Nimrod. For people who don't know who Nimrod is,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They're already making excuses. They're saying, what can he do with the economy that was handed to him? Like people are already making excuses for
he won't be able to fall on that sword because you made promises that you will stop the Ukraine war. You said before you were elected. In your first 100 days, the beauty of, again, this is where the mud comes into play. All you disenfranchised sons of bitches and backwards trailers, dumbasses. I'm quiet as cat. I'm loving it. Sit back. We are on our own now. We've established from this show for the last couple of weeks now that we're past the honeymoon stage.
Oh, yeah.
We are on our own. The Latinos and any other stuff, black people, stay sober. Because if you just sit back and be still, sometimes it's okay to sit and watch that movie play out.
God, I be that cup today.
Damn, what is that you got, Lady D? Is that apple juice?
She about to get a lot off her chest today. I see right now.
It's tea with a little bit of help, but it's tea.
Yeah, tea with a little bit of help. I will steal that one. I got to steal that one from you.
Right, we in for a ride today. Well, listen, I'm gonna just say this real clear, and I'm gonna move on. I'm continuing to take pictures of the gas prices because I want y'all to play around, act like these gas prices wasn't what they was when he in there. So y'all just be ready. I am ready, petty, and I'm gonna send them in there a year from now, 2 years from now. I want y'all to see what these gas prices look like. And
actually, if y'all don't mind, because I had already planned on doing this, I'm glad you said that. Will y'all go pay attention to how much milk, eggs, butter,
Everything.
bread, the essentials are, because
That's
I
right.
want to see what's going to happen in 2 years.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
They tried to play dumb when George Bush Jr. was in there and act like gas didn't go up to $5-6 a gallon in Texas.
That's something I had already planned to do. Not gas. I'm glad you said that, but the food essentials,
everything.
I already do that.
Yep. So y'all just better be ready. I done told all of them that was doing all that talking before he got elected. I said, now don't y'all go running off. When I said, listen, I already asked about that attorney general, and you know what they told me? I ain't never heard of him. Okay, y'all can play dumb y'all want to, but I missed the reminder. I'm gonna help y'all. I'm gonna help y'all out. I got receipts, player. So listen, all right, let's keep it moving. I got a follow up. I really don't got nothing against this young lady. It just so happens she just, Megan Good. I guess the second time around, what's the song is better the second time around?
Better than the first time around.
I don't know if it is. Listen, I just don't know, but she tried it again. She got another black man and she's in love again. I just hope that Megan, I know you don't listen to my show, but I'm gonna tell you, just stay off the internet. Stay out of them interviews and don't run your mouth about your man. That's all you do, and nobody will hold you. So again, she's getting married again. Okay, sister, go ahead. I'll let you.
Oh, my bad.
No, I know you. I know what you got in that cup today. So
it was frozen. That's why I was hit. But anyway,
okay.
I just wish that Black celebrity women would take a page from Oprah's book and get them like a Stedman, just an average, regular, smegular dude. He ain't gotta be broke. Just someone who's not in a spotlight, who's not chasing fame, and who won't benefit from her likeness. Just go get you an accountant, a corporate attorney, just a regular dude. That's what I want from her, because I don't trust him. First of all, I don't trust any man that's 35 dating a 43-year-old woman. I don't give a damn what she look like, because and I won't. Black, to be honest with me, I ain't worried about y'all looking like that. Let's be honest. He is a 35-year-old celebrity, and most 35-year-old celebrity men don't chase after 43-year-old hot girls. They chase after 21-year-old hot girls. Let's just be honest.
If you like them older, maybe.
But he didn't like them older. He was chasing them. He was chasing the young ones, which makes me not trust.
Well, hell, he didn't even like his own color. First of all, let's start there.
He makes me feel like he's going after her likeness, and almost like it's a publicity thing to revamp his career after it went in the toilet. So I'm upset with her. I'm disappointed in her that she would let him ride off her coattail like that.
Now, listen, this girl got more red flags than NFL because, again, like you said, I'll let Black deal with that one. But, Kenny, I'm going to hit you with this one. Again, Devin's bringing up the rebound. Girl, you already seen him put his hands on him. So what you doing? Again, I just really don't think I don't see this working out. But, Kenny, he put his hands on these women. They got it. He got it. The lost half his career now. What is Megan doing?
Well, from the putting his hands, didn't old girl attack him first? The white woman, didn't she attack him first?
Allegedly,
allegedly. So I get that, but it was a white woman, so obviously, they're gonna believe he started it. So, but just I'm trying to figure out. Lady D said a 35-year-old ain't chasing no 43-year-old. I don't think I agree with that.
Well, I think in
the celebrity game, in the celebrity world, I don't think that's unusual. I think you see that more, in my opinion.
Yeah, Ashton Kutcher comes to mind. I can't remember that girl.
Him and Demi Moore was rocking for a minute.
He left her for a younger woman.
But you said that they don't chase them, and they do.
No, what I'm saying is I don't believe they're real. I think like he was after Demi because of her celebrity, in my opinion, and I believe that if same with her. And it just happens to be a coincidence that his career was in the toilet. He was losing gigs and things like that because of the connections. He holds on. He finds the first lady, falls in love with her, And now all of a sudden he got a whole job again. He got a whole acting gig now.
I'm gonna agree with Lady D on this one. I think this screams to me of repairing your career, reclaiming your blackness, and I'm gonna even agree with Lady D on the AIDS part. Let's keep it real. Once upon a time, Megan Good was one of the finest out there. That pussy getting old, folks. She's
still gorgeous now, but still.
Now Megan Good is nice, bro.
She always gonna be attractive.
She look better than some of them 20-year-olds.
What it used to be, and she got these young counterparts out there now. So her opportunities ain't as grand as they used to be too. And so again, we see what's put in front of us. When that makeup come on, that pussy getting old and stale, just like anybody else.
Oh my goodness! And listen, that's a QT cup he in, y'all. So y'all be careful. I don't know what he getting from over there, but listen, everybody got valid points. So I hear y'all, and I'm just saying, if next day we're gonna see them both on a Netflix special again with a new movie or Tubi or whatever she rocking with. So again, I'm with you. Megan Good may be good for the restoring of the work environment for him. So I don't know, but we'll keep it posted. Craig said, Megan at 43, she is beautiful, and men will chase after. I hear you. So again, I just hope Megan just ride off in the sunset and keep quiet. That's all I got to say.
They just got engaged, right? So it ain't guaranteed they're gonna get married. It's just an engagement, right?
Yeah, no, you're right.
It may not even make it to the So,
listen, it took me 10 years. It took me 10 years to hold her accountable. So because I had to get the old clip and it.
yeah.
Again, it was what it is. So I mean, speaking of old,
wow.
Not the fight I was looking for, but Kenny, I'll start with you, boss. What you think about that fight? I'm talking about Tyson and
Tyson and Paul. This has been a big debate on social media, and I just think people miss the whole thing.
Okay,
what were you expect? Why is people disappointed? We're talking about 50. We're talking about a 58-year-old former world champ versus a 27-year-old YouTube boxer that's had a couple of fights. He's beat a couple of bums. And what were you thinking this was going to be? This wasn't going to be the Mike Tyson of 20 years ago, 30 years ago.
But I took it for practice.
But that's practice. Everybody looked good in practice. That's I just took it for what it was worth. It was for entertainment and money. That's all it was about. If you was looking to see a boxing match, then you were sadly going to see that from a 58-year-old Mike Tyson. But I will give Mike Tyson props because at 58 years old to go 8 rounds in 2 minutes, even though it didn't look good, ain't none of us up here and nobody watching can say we could do that at 50-some years old. So I give him props for that.
Give me $20 million and I damn sure will try.
You'll figure out how to do it. So personally, everybody's talking about it was rigged. It was that. No, it wasn't. These guys had a plan. They executed their plan to perfection. You had 280 million people on Netflix. And goddamn, the server then went down. Yes, people pissed off trying to. And they walked away with their pockets full. So I wasn't disappointed. It was what it was. I didn't expect much. So
y'all should have been more mad at that Mayweather and Pacquiao fight. Y'all paid for that one.
right, exactly.
Yeah. So, sister, I don't know if I know you dig in business, but I don't know if you dug too far in this business. But the streets was out there talking about this contract. You think Jake Paul really put a contract to tell Mike he can't punch him?
I think Jake Paul has turned boxing into wrestling. It's not even believable. It's not even believable anymore.
Because Mike used to do wrestling.
Like Mike funds probably ain't the greatest.
Oh, sure.
Buying $1 million tigers and shit. And so he may have needed a few dollars, and that was just an easy few dollars for him just to be able to have
$20 million, by the way.
Have enough win to get through all those rounds. That's all he had to do.
Yeah. No, and again, Mike Tyson was a part of WWE. You know what I'm saying? He had, I remember watching some documentaries. He like refereed one of the big fights with Hulk Hogan and somebody. I can't remember. No, it was Stone Cold and somebody else. I don't remember who it was. But yeah, so he is familiar with, putting on like that. So again, I mean, Black, what you think about it?
I laughed and I laughed and I laughed that night. Because I was invited to a fight party and I had enough people are dumb, but a person is stupid. Wow. I had enough common sense not to get my fat ass out of them streets, to be waiting hours and hours for some BS fight. I'll watch the fight in the comfort of my own bed, like a king, like Winnie the Pooh with no drawers on and drinking. And I laughed and laughed and laughed. I'm proud of you, Mike Tyson. Get that money from them damn fools, because you never get it out of me. And since we're talking about I'm gonna indict all of them before this end of the year. I'm talking about the OJs and Keith Sweat and Genuine, all you old sons of bitches trying to live up your glory. God bless you, make that money, but you would never get it out of me. I prefer to remember the glory days, like you said, Brother Kenny. Who in a right mind would expect him to turn back the clock? That man could barely walk up out there, but he held it together. And you see the OJ sitting on the stool singing. You damn fools out there, God bless you.
Listen, I told my wife when Mike came out there by himself, I said, "Oh no, he ain't paying nobody. No, he keeping all that money."
Right. Nobody gonna steal his money this time. I know that's right, for real.
I said, that joker walked out there by himself. He's keeping all that money to himself. So, all right, y'all. Well, I'm glad y'all enjoyed it, but it just wasn't the one I was expecting. But you're right. He did let everybody know. Listen, I'm trying to feed my family, and that's more power to you, brother. I appreciate it. All right, well, Brother Kenny. I mean, listen, I think I went 3-0 this week.
Oh, really?
You actually are. Well, we still got one game that's going on, but you're gonna be 4-0. You're gonna be 4-0. Right now, the Texans are up on the Cowboys 17-7 in the second quarter. But anyway, so let's start with that first, since Brenton always want to see where he is, trying to win some much money. Brenton, we have our TFG tonight, pick 3 picks, week 11. This is where we stand. We had the Commanders at the Eagles, was one game. Devin picked the Eagles. She got that one. Black, you went with the Commanders. You missed that one. Brenton and I both went with the Eagles, so we got that one.
Yes.
9-0 Chiefs at the 8-2 Bills. They are 9-0 no more. The Bills got that win. Devin missed that one. She went with the Chiefs. Black went with the Bills. He got that one. Brenton went with the Bills, and I went with the Bills as well. Yes, that's the one right there. Now, the 73 Ravens at the 72 Steelers. That was a good one. Devin got that one. She picked the Steelers. Black missed that one. He went with the Ravens. Brenton picked that one, went with the Steelers, and I missed that one as well. I went with the Ravens. So we still waiting on this Texans and Cowboys game, which we know the Texans go win. So everybody's going to probably get that one. So Brenton's going to be 4-0, and so that's going to probably – now we're going to have a log jam at first place between Black and Brenton now. Devin is going to be sitting right behind him. I'm going to retally this and post it. But right now, Black and Brenton going to be tied most likely for first. Lady D is going to be right behind him, and I'm still bringing up the rear.
Brittany got hope.
Brenton said the Cowboys are going to win this one. Not if they get all that damn metal falling from the roof. Brittany, did you hear about that? They had some metal falling from the roof before this game kicked off.
Are you serious?
At AT&T Stadium. Yes, by the way.
We're going to do a Black Love series on you Cowboys fans.
Right. Yeah,
don't even stop.
They were gonna play with the roof open, and then some metal stuff fell, and there you have it. So there we is, and then we're gonna matter of fact, let's go ahead and do our picks right now. Then I want to talk about Lil Wayne real quick before we get out of here. Okay. All right. This is our games for next week. We got our pick 3 for next week. We're gonna start with the Titans 2-8 at the Texans, which probably will be 7-3 tonight. Devin, who you got? Titans 2-8 at the Houston Texans. 7-3.
Texans.
Yeah.
Devin's going with the Texans. Black, who you got?
Texans.
Black going with the Texans. Brenton, who you got?
So I can keep my lead. I'm gonna say the Texans.
He gonna say the Texans. And it's gonna be a clean sweep. I'm gonna roll with the Texans as well. All right, this is gonna be a good one. So I think 5-5 49ers at the 7-3 Green Bay Packers. And y'all know my saying, you know what? It's always to be a Great day to be what? A Packer fan.
Yeah, boy.
Right.
Hush.
Right.
5-5 Niners at 73 Green Bay Packers. Devin, who you got?
Niners.
Going with the Niners. Black, who you got?
Packers. They ain't gonna lose in their own home court field, and it's winter getting cold too.
All right. Brendan, who you got?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go with the 49ers too. Okay. That defense, Bosa going.
Bosa probably won't play. He had an oblique injury yesterday. He's probably out for a few weeks.
Okay, well then I change it. I changed it to the Packers.
Okay. I shouldn't have said nothing.
I didn't know.
And I'm going with my Packers too. So going with the Packers. Last game, 8-2 Eagles at the 5-5 Rams. Devin, who you got?
Eagles.
Going with those birds out of Philly. Who you got, Black?
I'm gonna go with the Rams on this.
Okay. Brendan, who you got?
No, I'm going with them EA Eagles.
Going with the Eagles. Gotcha. I'm going with the Eagles on this one too. So those are our picks for next week. It's getting close. And matter of fact, I think our last show is going to be on the 16th. Is that correct, Brenton? Of next month? So that show I will announce the winner because we'll be gone. So we'll now announce the winner who won some lunch.
We're gonna be getting some lunch from Ruth Chris.
Yes.
Look at
I don't know who the hell. I don't know what you drinking in that cup, Lady D, but it damn so ain't gonna get you nothing, Ruth Chris. But disappointed, I tell you that much.
Well, listen, you can still go to Perry's on Friday and get you on them pork chops for $20.
Yeah. So we're gonna see what's happening. Real quick, I just want to get y'all thoughts on Lil Wayne. I ran across this and I didn't realize it. If y'all didn't know, he made his debut this past Sunday on NFL, this Sunday morning show as a guest contributor. And I ran across this article that says that he doesn't even remember lyrics to his songs anymore. He has epilepsy and he has severe seizures. Mm-hmm. And I just want to ask you guys, first, he had a little guest spot on Undisputed. Then the NFL Network, they kicked Michael Irvin out the door. There's no personality. And then the first person you think of is Lil Wayne. Why is Lil Wayne getting these opportunities to do sports stuff? And he just said he can't even remember sometimes the lyrics to his song. I mean, what's the thing about Lil Wayne that these people are seeing? I'm gonna start with you first. Lady D, what's your thoughts on Lil Wayne and his opportunities in sports media?
I think it makes people like me who don't watch sports media curious to go watch it. And I just think it brings in additional viewers that are just curious to know how he'll do because they all know how we're talking, right?
That's a good point. I never really thought of it from that perspective. I get that. Black, you and Brendan, we sports. We watch shows. We know what we like when we want to hear people talk sports. What is it about this cat, this New Orleans son? What is it about him that people are just attracted to him for as sports wise?
This is where, for me, my views are and thoughts on this it comes from a place of more conspiracy and insidious. Grown woman don't try me says make that make sense. I'm with you, CC. For me, this makes no sense. Now, admittedly, I am not a Lil Wayne fan. Let me be clear.
That's right.
And I think whatever he's going through with the epilepsy is self-imposed from the years of sipping on scissor and all that kind of shit that he's done. I'm of the belief that having him on these shows makes white people comfortable because that's the depiction that they want to see of us. It's no different when we have a news story and brothers standing there with degrees in hand and they go find the worst representative of us. Oh, that fire was such and such. I think he makes white people feel safe in near depiction of what I think is quiet as kept. It's minstrel entertainment because he's not articulate, he's not that bright, but he makes them feel safe in some ways.
Wow, good man. Both you and Lady D gave some definitely great sound on that. Brendan, your thoughts? I mean, is this? Do you think that's kind of a kick in the face to the sports profession? Far as sports announcing, is that like, okay, anybody can get up here and talk sports. He's a popular rapper. Yeah, he's a Packers fan. Let's get him. We want to have him on.
Yeah. Hey, Demi. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. This what I want to say, man. It's the Taylor Swift effect. That's again, right? She brings an audience to something that wouldn't, like Devin said, she wouldn't watch it unless he was on there. Right. But again, I don't really think, like, again, there are certain things people want to talk about and certain things people don't want to talk about. So again, they want to see if Lil Wayne gonna get on there and entertain them. And he's not, because if he's trying to entertain y'all, well, then you're gonna lose the sports crowd. But then if you're trying to talk about sports, well, then you're gonna lose your entertainment crowd. So this is Mike fighting in the ring. Right? This boy, go sit down somewhere, go get you on some Parks and Medicine or whatever you got to take to stop stuff from shaking and just move on, dude. Because again, there's no win here. Nobody's gonna listen to you and respect you as a sports person. And the people that want to hear you, they don't want to hear you talking about that. They want to hear you rapping. So again, that is.
Well, that's the thing. NFL Network, he debuted this past Sunday. Again, they didn't renew Michael Irvin's contract, which for the life of me, I still don't understand.
Crazy.
Considering. I just want to get your thoughts on it. Well, so Lil Wayne, he's doing his thing. By the way, he's a Packers fan. Go figure. You would never thought that, being from New Orleans. So there you go. Steven. Hey, what up, Jack? He says it's all about social media clicks, trying to get a different audience. You're right. Yeah. Good point, Jack. So again, there you have it. So again, that's been my sports segment.
So real quick, what y'all think about Cam on there with Steven?
I like it. I like their chemistry. I think it's dope. I like Cam's podcast. I think if you don't watch, check out 4th and 1. His podcast is pretty dope too. So
I don't hate him, but he's I don't know. Something about him just rubs me the wrong way.
Okay.
That's it. All right. Well, listen. God help us all, and to whom much is given. I think everybody know who Jamal Bryant is, right?
The preacher. Okay, so
the pastor.
I barely do though.
Okay, yeah, he took over Eddie Long's church. He had his own. I don't know. I guess New Breed is that's what it's called. But he got married again over the weekend, and again, he had a little private wedding, and he got a podcast, and so he's really just trying to push himself out there. But again, this is the problem, right? Again, we were talking about Megan Good earlier. Right, and this is her second marriage, publicly out like this. But my thing about Jamal Bryant, to whom much is given, much is required. Jamal, you have a platform, and a platform in the realm of pastoring a church. So, thank you, New Birth. That's what I thought it was, girl. But my issue is that should a person not be held accountable for the people that he's leading if he's leading them hypocritically? Case in point, like, you don't want the news to tell you lies, right? You want them to report the truth. That's what we expect for them to do, right? So as a pastor, if you're making good, do what you want to do, right? People can choose, and whatever that boy's name is, that's funny. You can't even think of his name. We can think of her name all the time. But I'm saying for Jamal, the Bible clearly says that you should not pastor and be taking part into multiple marriages. So I just want to know, do you all feel some type of way about people who lead and have platforms, but then they do it in such a hypocritical fashion? Sister, what you think about that? You think it's much to do about nothing, or is this should this be considered?
I think it's called misogyny. Come on, y'all, let's be honest. And there are a lot of pastors who've gotten away with a lot of stuff in the church that we know they have no business getting away with. And the fact that he is married multiple times, that doesn't bother me. It's just the fact that this man can pass peeing along with the collection plate and still manage to get a decent woman to marry him and be in a relationship with him publicly. I feel the same way about Cam. I can't stand him either because I just feel like they make women look dumb. And when women get with them publicly, they just continue to lose. And I just don't understand how Jamal is still able to find a woman to marry him. I just don't understand it.
Interesting. Okay. Carl, thank you so much. I appreciate you. You have
thank you, CC. Appreciate it.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
But, Kenny,
Thank you, Carl.
what do you think, Kenny, about all that? I mean, do you agree with the platform and it's not much to do about nothing? And as Devin saying, it's well, she called it misogyny. I understand what you mean, but where are you going with this?
I do think if you're supposed to be a leader of the flock, that interview with and I was kind of reading about that interview he did with Ray J. Yeah, Ray J was supposedly going to put his goons on him if he released some part of this interview, whatever. But I do feel like if you the man of the cloth, if you leading a group of people, you should be held to a certain standard. I do believe that. As far as the marriages, multiple marriages, I'm kind of like Devin. Kind of doesn't, that doesn't really move me one way or the other. But it's the way you move is what bothers me. And a lot of these ministers want to move like, we got your spiritual health in our best interest, but yet they out here wilding out. They doing stuff, that we know that's not acceptable for a man to be leading a group of people in when you're talking about leading them to Christ. So yeah, I mean, but one thing I do though, I stay away from men like that. I definitely ain't following them, and I ain't trying to give no woman that just worship no minister like that either. Because a lot of our women, they worship these ministers too. And if I ain't trying to rock with no woman that worships her pastor.
Yeah. Stephen said the church is a business and the pastor have biblical knowledge, but they are wolf in sheep clothing. Again, yeah. Well, we have our resident preacher here, and so I'm going to give him his pulpit for just a second. So, Pastor, how do you feel about these things, sir?
And for those that don't know, I really was a preacher.
I wasn't messing around.
I'm saying for maybe that people that know, I literally was a traveling preacher. And so being a preacher, pastor, I didn't have the title of pastor. It was a ministerial servant. And it's a powerful thing to know God's word. It's very powerful to be to manipulate that word, which is the reason why I'm spiritual now and I'm not religious, because of the hypocrisy that I've seen in organized religion. So this to me speaks more to what people are. Anybody who knows me, y'all know I don't put any faith in these jackleg preachers. I had to pull it up on the side to even really remember who this was, because both of these are whores to media, and I'm keeping it funky, how I really feel. You look at this made up bitch, and it says the duo took to Instagram to announce that they had tied the knot at the Waldorf Astoria in Atlanta in an extravagant ceremony. I could go on. She had the Fabrique boutique, and they talking about what she had on. They're fleecing the flock. But again, you can't, when you see a fool, you bump their fucking head. And so the flock, we as African Americans, unfortunately, we like to see prosperity preachers. We like for our ministers to look the part. And meanwhile, we out here struggling, and they're pastoring in these extravagant churches, driving extravagant vehicles and things of that nature, and polluting and prostituting the word of God. When I look at both of them, they disgust me. She'll suck a dick and he will too. So fuck them both.
Only spoken like a true preacher. We'll be back in just a second.
This is a test. This is only a.
Well, yes, sir. Thank you, preacher. I appreciate that. Now, Devin, now I'm sure that he has never been guilty of passing the plate and the peen at his church, but you know.
This is a
I can't believe
I'll add this last part.
Women in his congregation. I'm truly surprised. I just thought that us as women, we were more evolved today, but we're not. And it's just
Black has said that so many times.
Crazy to me.
There's an old saying, Lady D. They say it's religion is the opiate of the people. And it's been that way from the beginning of time. And I mean this with all sincerity. If I truly didn't fear God, I would have kept that path. I believe with every fiber of my being, what I know about the scriptures and how I can speak about them, I could have that life. But I truly fear God in the sense that I get my snacks the old-fashioned way. I earned it. Rather than getting it from the pulpit. But I feel like if I could pollute this, if I had an enemy to pollute the scriptures, I would. But I fear God in that sense. There's things I will do, and if I have to stand before my maker, I'll take that punishment because I drug a bitch in here to feed her some chicken and pour a little drink down her throat. But I don't want to bring God's word into it. But it's a mighty thing. When I was out there, my most sexual days was on Sunday. They gave a little bit to God and gave the rest to me. Them nasty 50 no good bitches do it all on a Sunday.
Hell to the no!
Just won't believe it. I won't. No, I'm just lying. I know he ain't lying. So anyway, all right. Well, listen, y'all. We all need some help. And again, y'all watch out who y'all let leading y'all. Again, she says, "Can everyone hit?" Oh, thank you, Curl. I appreciate that.
Thank you, CC.
Yes, for sure.
Appreciate that.
Brittany,
I'm trying to be good. I am. Don't look at me that way.
Brittany said, "My goodness, Brittany."
Yes.
I can hear her. I can hear her saying that too.
I don't know why.
It ticks me off. It ticks me off.
I don't know why y'all don't believe the intro to the show. As my
I don't know
said.
why. They need to watch it. If you ain't watched it, watch it.
Kenny said it plainly. Listen, y'all, he will give you scripture and then cuss you out in a second. He's just an old-fashioned preacher. Come on in, sister. Give somebody business, please.
All right, y'all. I literally wanted to talk about something funny.
Okay.
But as I was in folks' business, I read across an article about Malcolm X's 3 daughters suing the NYPD, FBI, and the CIA for $1 million. They teamed up with Crump, and they're suing them for his assassination. And I have so many questions and thoughts about this, but even more I wanted y'all's, and I'll just straight up tell you why. For one, there were a lot of civil rights leaders and political leaders that were Black that were killed back in the day and tied back to the folks. But I also have thought that the NOI was also associated with his death, meaning his own peeps. So I actually want to ask Ken first. I for some reason, do you think that's a great idea as far as them suing for this $1 million? And I watched Malcolm X twice, and I always thought it was more tied to his brotherhood rather than them. What do you think?
As you probably know, Malcolm X is one of my heroes, obviously. And I've watched it and I've read and I studied this. And I remember when they actually, the family, the daughters were saying they were going to sue the federal government and the FBI on this. Matter of fact, this was brought up some years ago. But I do think, yeah, why not? You know, I say go for it. Will we probably get anything out? Would it get anything out of it? Probably not. But we still need answers. And far as the NOI, there's still a whole lot of question marks around that. But I think there was some paid informants by the FBI that had some of those men infiltrate that religion. So I think the NOI and the FBI were in cahoots when it comes to the assassination of Brother Malcolm. But as far as his daughters and them so on, what do I think they will even get anywhere? Probably not. But I say, I think in the for their father's spirit, I say, man, I support him 1,000%. But in doing so.
Okay. Black, do you think that Malcolm's family members should join in, and especially if they win, to try to sue for money as well? And I just feel like there's really no monetary amount for that type of involvement, but do you think it's worth trying for?
I wish these black bishops would just sit down. This disgusts me. I view this in the same vein as I view these nasty no-go bitches with the Me Too campaign. Why now? You don't wait till all the way. Now you broke bitches need to sit down. First of all, you open up a can of worms, in my personal opinion. Do I doubt that the FBI and CIA have? Of course they did. Here we are. He got killed in 1967. It's 2024. We're almost 2025. You nappy-head black bitches gonna wait till now to come coming forward trying to get a money grab? Sit your monkey ass down and be quiet.
Come on, Black.
Rick, do you think that Crump was the one? Do you think that Crump was the one that encouraged this and not necessarily them? Because that's what Crump does. You know what I'm saying? And knock on wood, thank God, there hasn't been a lot going on right now as far as, civil rights type crime. So you think that was maybe a him thing, and they basically have nothing to lose by doing it. So,
and that's true. That's true. But again, you got to think about the Menendez brothers too, right? I mean, all these old situations is coming back up now in this social media era, right? And so again, Netflix, Black,
no, I'm listening. What you're saying, you're right.
Oh yeah,
I'm in back around.
Yes. And so again, Netflix has a good documentary about the documents that were sealed, and this reporter, he got a hold of it, and we're right. I mean, I think there was a lot of hands that played a part in this, and that's again, this speaks to the classism and the power. But yeah, like you said, they have nothing to lose, and again, if not now, then when? Ever, right? Better late than never, in my opinion. So it don't bother me now. Will they get something? Probably not, because again, that's a whatever we know, everybody knows. So it's not like something you have that can come out and give them new information that's going to make them. I mean, they'll tie that thing up in court so long, y'all be in y'all grave before y'all get that money, even if you do have something to stand on. So again, it is what it is. So
I don't think Crump is going to put a lot of his own money into this. I just think he was just throwing it out there just to see what type of reaction that he gets. And after all the years that he's been gone, his daughters don't have a lot of money also to be thrown into the court system. I just think he did it just to throw it out there to see what type of reaction that he's going to get, because unfortunately, I don't know if that movie can or cannot be used against him, but they tied so much of his death to the NOI, along with the FBI, CIA, or whatever. So I think it's far-fetched. I think Martin Luther King's family members have a better chance than Malcolm X's, just because they can more easily tie it to his own religious affiliation. But anyway, but I just thought it was interesting that they even
the King's children sit their monkey ass down too.
Come on, bro.
But I don't blame them for trying, because it doesn't hurt to try to get some money. And I think they, I wish instead of doing that someone would have to maybe write a book or put out a documentary or something like that. If he feels like they deserve some sort of money and some type of compensation, I think they have a better chance of getting it that way with the Netflix special or something, opposed to trying to.
Right. Yeah.
I don't want nothing to happen for Ben Crump to get a job, because y'all know how when he works. But I just wish he wouldn't have just thrown that out there, because I just think that you may have gotten their hope up, and that, or maybe they know that nothing at all will come out of this. Now I'll go back to minding my own business and something more fun next time.
All right. Well, we sure appreciate you. We've been kind of behaving ourselves. You know, black is black, but you know, for the most part, everybody. All right.
Black is black.
It's better than it was last week.
Thank you.
Everybody is better than it was
Thank
last
you,
week. Again, everybody is better than they was last
Everybody's better than
everybody. So again, listen, you know, this may be information that most of us can't use, but you know, it's my show. So I put on here what I want to talk about.
Bravo.
Yes, sir. So
and that is the truth.
Yes, sir. Urkel said no, and I appreciate him because I'm tired of y'all trying to reboot these shows. So somebody wanted to redo Family Matters, and again, I don't care to see that, you know, unless y'all gonna make Eddie gay, and then I really don't care to see that. Right, and they're gonna have a spinoff, you know what I'm saying, with him and his trans girl. I don't know, but at the same time, I only asked this question for the simple fact just to ask a different question. Is there any show that you would ever want to see rebooted, and if so, which one would it be?
I've said this on my platform. I love what they did with the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh, yes. Okay.
And I'm a fan of, if it's written well, turning some of the comedies into dramedies, because I think there's some originality there. Now, to remake them in that same vein, no, you don't mess with a masterpiece. But I've even, on my platform, I've talked about this. If you redid Martin, for example, and made it more of a drama, it would be, for me, I personally would watch it if you took the comedy out of it. So imagine you paired Martin and Gina as a couple who come from different worlds. He doesn't have a traditional job. He works as a comedian. She comes from corporate America. Now take the comedy out of that and add his friends who come into the picture. And we joked about this on my platform. What if Tommy was a real drug? What if his job was a drug deal?
But have we not seen those shows before, though?
What would it look like if Cole really was a grown man living with his mother and all of the complications that go along with that? And imagine you took the comedy out of the fact that Gina's best friend couldn't stand her man. So I'm a fan of, if it's written well, and to turn some of these shows into dramedy, because Lord knows the originality has died. The shit that they putting on TV, half of it ain't worth watching. Most of it. So I'd watch some of it.
Okay. I think we've seen a show like that. Sure. We just may not know the name of it, but you know, drama is drama.
But the point is to take these characters, it would make me watch. I'm probably in the minority, but it would make me watch being able to flip the show on its head. Because I'm a major fan of Bel-Air. I love what they've done by turning it into more serious. You know, the context of it.
Okay. Sister Kenny, y'all, any show y'all could think of?
I would like to see, and I'm being serious, Living Single revamped. Absolutely. I feel like they didn't get a fair shake. I felt like they ended before their time, and I would love to see every one of them.
Okay. That's good. That's good. I was wondering if anybody gonna come up with something. I'll be like, okay, yeah, all right, that's good. You're right. Okay, Kenny, a show.
I've been trying to think. I think the only one that I could really say that I probably would like to see, and I wouldn't really want it to change much, the reboot would be New York Undercover. I used to watch that show religiously. That was one of my favorite shows. So I would definitely. I think. What'd you say, Black?
I said my brother went back, but you're right. If they could infuse today's music into that would be fantastic.
Now, Stephen Black will have them over there putting roofies and people's stuff.
No,
Memphis Bledsoe would be a streetwalker, pole dancer. No.
In this case, I'm with Kenny. I would like to see a modern version of NYC.
No, I'm talking about if the Cosby Show came back. You'd have them putting roofies in folks' drinks and as a stripper.
That's funny.
But imagine if they turned it into a drama where now you had the
everything is
what
rather
would it
be
look
real.
like in a household, right? You know, because hear me out real quick. I know, and for the interest of time, hear me out real quick, Lady D. We and Brenton and Kenny, y'all can attest to this. Sometimes we as parents, when we give our kids every advantage in the book, but they go the opposite direction.
Lord.
Yeah.
So imagine a doctor and a lawyer married with their kids having all of the advantages, but Theo wanting to sell drugs.
Hell, I can do that for free. They come over here, and they ain't even got to pay me the same amount of money. They can get the story over here for $25.
That's what I'm saying. But imagine you take those characters. So imagine if Theo wants to sell drugs and Denise wants to strip, and Elvin and the whatever they lazy and whatnot. Take the comedy out of it. That's worth watching.
Tubi's calling, Black. Tubi's calling, just so you know. Now, listen, I will say this because the Cosby Show, I would say maybe, but what if y'all really wrote the line for who they really are? Where Rudy is, you know, can't keep a man, where where Denise, you know, she dating who Jimmy Henry, whoever, you know, and then Cliff was really like this jacked up doctor who was
right.
You know, maybe I could see it if y'all did it from what they really are. That would probably be interesting, maybe. But yeah. So okay, I think the show that actually came to mind quick, just in the moment, was I thought about A Different World.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, that's a good one too.
Nice.
Yeah, I ain't thinking about that.
Ooh, that's right.
Yeah, because that and this is why I say that, because most of the shows we're talking about were fueled by the characters, but A Different World really had great storylines, and I think because of the depth in where they went, like they did not shun away from those topics. I think because of the writing, because again, the show made the characters, but the shows we're talking about, the characters made the show, right? Martin, Will, and all that other kind of stuff. So they were already big names at the time and decent names, but A Different World actually made these people somebody. So I feel like that would probably be
because a lot of them wasn't big, a lot of them wasn't stars. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
At all.
Very good point.
Yeah. So again, so I just thought that was a good thought. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. So all right. Well, listen. We're gonna have to work today. We're gonna have to work today because I felt like this was really good, and again, like I said, we got just a few more episodes, and I just a quick plug because you know I normally don't plug our show. I really want y'all to come watch our final show because I got something special for us. I'm gonna pull some old stuff, and I just want us to just have fun and talk about what we were doing at the time and think, you know, just I've got some really good moments that highlight some of the shows that we did over the year, and I think it'd be great to just have fun with everybody. I'll ask Black to get drunk that night if you could. No, I'm just teasing. No, okay, so I'm just playing. But please, on the last show, we're just gonna come and have fun and just reminisce about just what a year we had and just talk about some good highs and lows. And so there's some really funny stuff I remember finding. So y'all come watch it on December the 6th, but we'll keep talking about it. But here we are. Black Love Series, conversations to have and conversations to avoid. I think we need to do another series before we get out of here too. Just as a whole show. So we'll work on all that. But this is my question. And if we want to answer both at the same time, if we want to do a round robin with one and the other, we can. But in a relationship, what is a good conversation to have? And in the same relationship, what would probably be a conversation you probably need to avoid? Generally, and again, we can explain it why not, because I believe sometimes we kind of misrepresent some conversations that we probably need to avoid, that you just refuse to. I mean, you just got to have it, and some conversations that you need to have but you choose to avoid. Just for the family, I just think that was really good for us to talk about. And so I don't want to ask whoever's ready, but which one, whoever got something, y'all let's talk. Okay, come on.
No, and I always like these topics because I'm very serious about this. A good conversation to have to me when it comes to Black love is what your standards are.
Okay.
I don't think we have that enough. My entire show is based on that.
Okay.
The very first episode of Real Talk for Real Men, it says men are from Mars, women are from Venus. We're very different people. And far too often we get together because of aesthetics. I'm attracted to this person physically.
Mm-hmm.
I'm horny. I want somebody to pay my bills or whatever. So a good conversation to have if you're seriously looking for Black love and want to be in some kind of serious relationship is, who are you? We don't do that anymore. We become 40 characters and emojis. And so a good conversation is to have where you're not in the restaurant spending $200, where you're having a real conversation about, tell me about you. What's important to you? What are you looking for?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the one that's to avoid, I think, is asking about body count. We talked about this on my show.
Definitely.
And that's because I truly believe men aren't equipped to deal with that. I'm different in the sense that doesn't bother me per se. I personally want a woman with a little bit of mileage on it. Now, you can't have a big wide hole that I can't fit in. You know what I'm saying? Well, shit, every army been through there, but I need you to have gotten all that freak shit out of your system. Yeah, have had a threesome, because I don't want to be worrying about when I'm with you that you're still entertaining thoughts of what you should have done and should have tried. So if you want a few dicks in your head and tail, get that out the way first. You know what I'm saying? So you have had that experience. So, but at the same time, I don't care about your body count per se. You know, long as your lips ain't all raggedy down there and shit, and that ain't got no smell, we're gonna be okay.
Please, okay. And again, I'll be honest, and I may be all. The only reason he probably got no problem because ain't nobody gonna ever have a bigger account than he is. So that's the reality of it all. That's why he don't care, because he knows. Especially when he said, "Oh, your number," I'll always tell you my number. I know. So anyway, okay, sister, you got yours?
Yeah. A conversation I always have, and I never get it reciprocated, is, and maybe I shouldn't, is I always really early on share all of my yellow and red flags to the point to where no one even sometimes believes me. They do, but they don't care, because everybody always thinks that, you know, they gonna make somebody different. But I share all my yellow and red flags, most of them, not all of them.
Yellow flag.
Pretty well, you know, some things just, they aren't that big a deal, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of my yellow flags for a man are some of my expectations. Let me be honest with you. Okay. The things that I expect from a man, and my deal breakers, for some men, they call those yellow flags or red flags.
Okay.
There's a lot of stuff that I'm just not gonna damn tolerate. I'm just not. I've been through a lot. I've been on this earth too goddamn long. I don't give a shit. I don't need you. They make shit in the store that can put you to shame. So it don't even matter. So I just like to get it all out there, you know what I'm saying, really early on, what my yellow and my red flags are. And conversations that I have learned that you shouldn't have in not so many words is about your body count. I'm not gonna say it like Black. And you also don't want to give too many intimate details about anything with your ex, whether it be feelings, intimate stuff, nothing about your last relationship that's good. Now you can talk shit about your ex. Y'all don't mind that. But you can't say too much good about him. I don't give a damn what it is. You can't even say he made good mac and cheese, because that's gonna come up later when you eat mac and cheese. So you just don't say nothing good about anything from your past. And don't talk about your body count.
So y'all not sure y'all having conversation with very insecure people?
No, all of you are, friend. Let's be honest. All of you. And it's the same for women when it comes to talking about certain intimate details or certain details about your ex. Like if I'm sitting up here and
I agree.
Let's just say I'm frying chicken, and you'd be like, "Man, didn't nobody fry chicken like my ex, boy. She could throw that. Do you put such and such on it like she used to?" And then I'm gonna throw that chicken at you. Never get chicken again. Y'all are the same way. You just gotta watch what you say.
Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah. All right. Good. Kenny. What is?
I shoot, man. Them two down there, boy. They went down through there and knocked it out the park.
I had my range, because listen, y'all know when they get out of hand, we got to close the show down.
Hey, I would definitely agree with both Lady D and Brother Black. You definitely, the conversation not to have is about body count. Again, men, we not equipped for a woman to really be truthfully honest about her body count. We can't handle that, and that's one conversation I never ask, because what happened prior to me really ain't my damn business, so I don't even trip on that. The one conversation that I think that I've learned is I really ask a woman, what do you really love about yourself? Ooh. What do you really love about you? And what do you really hate about you? And the way she answers both of those questions, that kind of gives me an idea how to move forward with her. Because if she give me, if she kind of has to stop and think about some things that it takes her a while to figure out what she don't like about her, then she thinks she already got herself together. Wow. And then I already know that could be a possible red flag.
Mm-hmm. So okay. Well, I'll come from a different perspective, because as a married man, and I've been married for almost 20 years now, I thought about this one day, and I had to ask myself, because sometimes when you're in a long-term relationship, if you're not smart, you catch yourself getting on this hamster wheel, and you'll keep having conversations about things that you realize will trigger other things. And so what I've learned, and I guess, and for the most part, you all kind of spoke in the dating aspect of it. Okay. And so I had to look at it in a perspective of being in a monogamous relationship for a very long time. And so what I've learned is the conversations you need to have are the ones that'll get you somewhere. That's going to progress. That's going to have some a good outcome, and that takes time. And you need to be smart about what you're talking about, right? What matters, and then the ones to avoid, obviously, are the ones that don't get you nowhere, right? But again, as a person who's been with somebody for a long time, you have to know these things. And then because a fool makes a mistake more than once, right? Especially if it's the same one over and over again, that's insanity. So it got to come to a place, unless you just love the drama, right? Then, okay. So if you just love the drama, well, then, then you're going to keep doing it. But for someone who doesn't want to continue to keep having those headaches and those long drawn out, unnecessary, know what it is. Know what gets you somewhere, and then know what doesn't, and then have them, and then avoid them. Go ahead, sir.
I want to ask you and Lady D a question on this, because I failed with a failed marriage. It was the second most important decision that I ever made in my life. I failed at, and I live with that failure every day. But Lady D, you find in love a second time around, and in a stable relationship, and you just mentioned Brother Brenton, 20 years, man, you know what I'm saying? So you've weathered storms. So what you just said, I want to question, do you two subscribe to the theory, when I look at older couples who've been able to manage to be 20, 25, 30 years in, that the woman's always right? I love to look at your face. I don't mean that in the truest sense, but to keep peace in your home. Because you talked about having those conversations, Brother B, and Lady D, who's a woman. I want to hear your thoughts on that. I posted something recently on my page where a pastor was talking about he was like 40 or 50 years married, and I can sit here now and in hindsight and think about things I wish I had done. So I'm curious for you guys, how do you navigate those tough conversations when knowing when to fight, knowing when to let certain things go, because they're important things that you have to stand on. I can imagine as a man that I'm putting my foot down, but there are times when that's not that big of a deal. And Lady D, as a woman, the same thing. How much goes into recognizing that, okay, the arguments that don't mean anything, because you just said, Brenton, that's getting you somewhere. Where do you guys stand on the woman is always right? Because we hear those sayings about a happy wife, a happy life.
Sure. Ladies first.
I think that the woman is usually right. but I don't think that a woman is always right. No. What I'm saying is,
I'm laughing at his expression.
A lot of women, not all women, we put a lot of thought into when we are ready to sit down with you and have a true in-depth conversation with you. We've thought about what we gonna say before we say it, and it's a big deal because we know with men, a lot of things aren't worth battling and arguing about and fussing about because it's not worth the peace going forward. I'm not gonna miss 3 days of talking to my person because of something that's stupid, because he said something stupid or forgot something that I thought mattered, or didn't say something that I thought that he should have said. You know what I'm saying? Women, we also pick and choose our battles. But if we are sitting down with you and needing to have an in-depth conversation with you, then it's something that's really bothering us that we're having a difficult time moving past. And it may even be us apologizing. That's why I say we are usually right, because a lot of mature women, because there's some immature women just as well, a lot of mature women can recognize when they've said something or done something wrong and realize it later. And it was like, yeah, I realized when I said earlier what I was wrong about that. But moving forward, when we approach such and such, can we do it this way? Just to avoid this unnecessary argument or complication, because it made me feel this way when you said this, or it made me feel that way when you said that. And I was wrong with the way that I responded. And I won't do that again, but I just want you to be mindful of that moving forward so that we don't have to have these problems. So I feel like the older that I've gotten, what I've learned in my relationship, and even ones that didn't work, was that you have to be able to effectively communicate, or I can promise you it will not work. And you have to be willing to listen. And I know a lot of men say they struggle with that, but you have to be willing to really hear what she's saying, because if she's sitting you down to have this conversation, then it means something.
Okay. So for me, this is one thing that I've learned just over the years. All men are not the same, and all women are not the same. And the reason why I bring that up is because I've heard us generalize a lot of times that, even to your point about the happy wife, happy life, I subscribe to happy spouse, happy house. Okay. Because I want to be happy too. So I will say this. I do recognize that all men are not smart. And a lot of times most women are smarter than their husbands, and I get that, for whatever, but things are changing, and every man is not silly, and all men are not don't have a hard time articulating their conversation. So with that being said, I want to say this for me, right? Because you asked a question about what was it for me. It when it comes to what is and what is not important, I got tired of having the conversation that brought us to that place that I was upset. And because when I get upset, it takes me a minute. See where I am today. I can debate anybody. Like I can argue, and my wife's not like that. And so for a lot of years, I used to demand a conversation because that's what I do. And my wife would shut down because that's what she don't do. And so it comes to a point of maturation for me that I had to say, okay, I don't want that. I don't want her shutting down. So again, yes, if there's things that need, again, what matters if it's going to progress. And then sometimes you just like, well, it's just going to be what it's going to be. But at that point, it's got to be happy house, happy spouse. Because there's so many different things, generations, age, and da. But for me, as a man who knows how to articulate, who does not have a problem conversating with anybody, and I listen, I will argue with anybody. You know what I'm saying? It's about what's important, and what's important is that momentary desire to be right, because that's what you asked. Is she always right? No, she's not. But this is one thing I've learned, and again, from the time me and my wife did go to therapy, the relationship is the most important. It's almost like a child. and the longer the relationship, the longer the older the child gets. And so the relationship has to be the most important.
I like that.
Not what if I'm right, she's wrong, she's right. It's at that point, what is it good for the relationship?
I like that. And I thank y'all both for your answers. Seriously, I wasn't being facetious. I failed at this, you know, and even my brother sitting on the right from where my screen is, he's a better version of me. And one day I would like to get to that place. So I truly respect your responses. I'm learning, you know what I'm saying? I'm learning. Thank you both.
Y'all know that.
Yeah, I love their responses too. I love your responses too, because like I fail too. And I think the main thing is our communication skills. We did.
Can the internet ran out? All right.
Mm-hmm.
But no, yeah. So ultimately, this part of this show is about us learning. Mm-hmm. That's why half the stuff we talk about is always something that is beneficial to us in some way, form, or fashion. And so again, I'm doing this not only to help myself, but to help others. And so that's why I won't do the show without y'all, because this is a match made in heaven. That
Can you put some minutes on your phone?
What'd you say, Lady D?
I say you can't put some minutes on your phone.
Oh, my Wi-Fi, man. Leave me alone.
We know.
Alone.
Do you want to finish saying your point? Did you want to finish making your point?
No. I got to get some more minutes on my phone. No, I need to get some more minutes on my phone. So I'm done.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen,
I love it that I ain't the only one with raggedy Wi-Fi. I love it. I ain't the only one.
Me too. Shit.
But you can fix yours if you wanted to. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here he is, the one and only Lee Black with "And They Took No Notes."
No notes.
Come on, sir.
You know, sometimes I don't always know what I'm going to talk about. I'm inspired by different things, and I want to go back to the beginning of the show, watching the Tyson fight on Saturday night. Donald Trump was there, so I don't know if you guys saw that.
I thought that was.
I thought he was at John Jones. No, he wasn't at Mike Tyson. No, he was at John Jones fight.
Was it okay?
He was at the
I'm wrong. He was at some fight. Yeah. You're right, because he had Joe Rogan there. You're right. That's right. Okay. Mm-hmm. I was going at the fight, but this is what inspired this segment. And you're so right. And they showed him on the big jumbotron, and they let him speak, and this, that, and the other. And he basked in all of the glory. And he held up his fist and everything. And I laughed, and I said to myself, and I said at the beginning of the show, be careful what you wish for, folks. And this is where I wanted to direct this part at, not just my people in general. Now that we are past the realization of what's to come, folks, we're getting ready to head into a holiday season where when I say they, I'm not talking about white people. I mean the establishment in this case. They're expecting us to now have absorbed what has happened, and that swamp that they're all swimming in. They need us, black, white, Mexican, Asian, trans, whatever. They need us to end this year strong. They need us to keep this economy afloat. It's no accident that we talked about at the beginning of the show about watching gas prices. Well, they're going to lower them for the next couple of weeks because they want your ass to travel.
That's right. That's what they always do.
And without giving away trade secrets, my company took a major sigh of relief that the billionaire ascended back to the throne, and now all things are right in the corporate world. But what if I told the family that I knew for certainty that in February of 2025, that the bottom was going to fall out and we're going to find ourselves in a situation that we never seen before? Would you listen?
100%.
See, I'm glad you said that. But here's the sad truth, folks. And I'm going to use some bad language here. Even watching this show, and I watch the numbers sometimes of people who view, it's very odd to me sometimes that as long as we're talking fuckery and foolishness, the viewership is up. Sometimes when we cover serious topics, I watch people tune out and they go out and they come back in, because we live in a world now where the Mike Tyson fight is reality. That's our perception. When a minister who married his chick and that's news, that's reality. Having a rapper espouse his views on sports, that's reality. So this is where, believe it or not, I want to interject some of my spirituality here. Do you know in the Bible, there were 2 occasions where God brought the world to an end, the flood and Sodom and Gomorrah. Now, Matthew chapter 24:37, it talks about they took no note until the flood came and swept them all away. And I'm not going to give you a sermon here because we all know the famous story of Noah, that he preached and preached and preached and preached while him and his family was building the ark. And they laughed and they jested at him until the door was shut and it started raining. Sodom and Gomorrah, which ass fucking is known for. See, I told you I'm a preacher, folks. But in ass fucking, they got so out of control that they even wanted to ass fuck the angels, to the point that God had to take Lot and his family by the hand and say, get your monkey ass out of here because I'm bringing these 2 cities to ruin. Now, I'm joking when I say that part. But on a more serious note, it talks about in Luke chapter 17 how the people were marrying. They were partying. They were eating. They were drinking. They were buying. They were selling. They were planting. They were building. Again, until they took no note. When I said earlier at this show that Trump reminds me of Nimrod, look this up. Nimrod was an individual that was a resistant to God, and he decided he was going to build a tower to the heavens, basically in defiance of who God was. And I couldn't help but think Saturday night when I watched Trump and his cronies and they're forming this alliance, what the hell they need heaven for? They have it all right here. They're building an alliance and self-insulating themselves to a point where they don't need God. But watch God work, folks. I am predicting that 2 years into this presidency, sometimes be careful what you wish for, you're going to get it. But I also want to implore regular folk, not just black people, be careful as we go into this holiday season. All is not right, folks. There's some shit on the horizon that's going to catch us all by guard. Celebrate if you must. Cook that turkey in that ham. But be smart. And I live by a simple saying. I live close enough to the ground so that it's not that far to fall. And I invite many of you to follow that as well, because spending and doing all of these things, and then when these laws change, when we get to income tax season and these laws change and we find ourselves in precarious situations, folks, in case you don't know, the richest 1%, they got richer and they don't give a damn about the rest of us. And sometimes, whether we like it or not, we all in this same boat, whether we want to or not. And when we get through all of the fuckery and the foolishness, as God is exacting judgment, and even before he gets here, as judgment exacted on us because of the decisions these people have made, I hope you're taking note of what's happening, because in the immortal words of this famous song by Kendrick Lamar, they're not like us and they don't care about us. Wake up, people.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. That moment with Lee. None like no other. Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Fantastic show. We toned it down a little bit, but we'll ratchet it back up on next week. It's just like a good meal that you get. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. You just have to that's when you go to that Waffle House, you got to make sure the right cook is in there, so to get your eggs right and stuff like that. So, we'll be back. So don't worry, y'all. Again, I just told you I'm just not giving Devin and Lee no more of that opportunity to start cutting up and try to take over my show.
I was really good this show, by the way.
No, you were, but listen, I got shows. Yes, sir. So okay, well, thank you so much. I appreciate that, man. But it's final thoughts time, and I just want to say again, as always, I appreciate all of y'all and for what y'all do. Sister, I'm gonna let you go ahead and start.
All right, for my final thoughts, I'd like to say I like to kind of piggyback off of that, not spending and being a little bit more frugal. I've always been a medium to high maintenance type of chick. I'd have guessed that. And let me tell y'all how good I've done now.
Please.
This girl, I don't pay anyone anymore to do nails, hair, nothing. I do it all myself. Now I do like an occasional nice bag and a shoe. Don't get me wrong, but I don't. But I have saved, ladies. I have saved probably hundreds of dollars a month, at least for the $600 a month just on my maintenance by learning to do things on my own and buying things off of Amazon. And I can see it in my savings account. So I am just going to ask everyone to kind of do that. Just something that you like and enjoy. Just stop doing it. If you're someone who likes to drink name brand Coca-Cola, I'm going to ask you to just buy some Great Value for a while. After a while, you'll get used to it. And it'll start to taste the same, and you won't need the other, and you won't like it until you see the changes in your bank account and how much money that you've saved by learning to be frugal in some way. If you a beer drinker, I know I can't get you to stop drinking beer, but maybe you can stop drinking an expensive wine and drink a cheaper wine. You know what I'm saying? And pray for your liver, drink more water, just so you can save a little bit more money, because unlike what we've heard in the media, I don't think the economy is just going to be this great place and we're going to be buying milk and eggs and bread for $2 over the next 4 years. I think it's going to be quite the opposite, because I just feel like there's going to be something that happens that's going to cause all the money to go there, and they're going to justify why they have to crank up all the other prices of everything else. So just start thinking of ways to just save. And don't judge me when you see me on vacation and stuff, because that don't matter. Just know that I save my hair and my nails and my food.
Good job, Mr.
Hey,
Devin.
man, that's you, Lady D.
Good job, Mr. Devin.
Man, that's you.
I would lie and say that he made it, but I know better than that. Huh?
Yeah, you should.
Come on, Kenny, for that internet run out.
Man, you know what? Y'all gonna stop being disrespectful to my Wi-Fi tonight, all right? we gonna do that right now. But real talk, before we do sign me out, before I do it myself, I want to say this about Mike Tyson, man. And I want to say this to anybody that's out there that is at age. You're a seasoned person now. When I say seasoned, you're a little bit up in age. If there's something that you set your mind to and you feel like that you can put in the work to do it until you 6 feet under, do it. It ain't about even you winning. Just like Mike Tyson said, it wasn't about who won or lost last night. It was about I was able to get in that ring and go 8 rounds at 58 years old, where a few months ago I was damn near dead in the hospital. So I would say this to my older people, up in age. If you got a desire or a dream or something that you think that you want to accomplish, put in the work and do it. Just do it like Nike. That's my final thoughts.
Yes, sir.
President.
That is true.
Well, that is true. See,
that is true.
I have nothing to say on that one.
Right. My brother.
Mine is a shout out to Gabrielle Union. In many cases, I have not been necessarily a fan. I don't hate her and Dwayne Wade, but they've shared so much of themselves until sometimes they become nauseating. But recently, she went to social media and decided that she was going to basically pull out of X, formerly known as Twitter, that she was going to take a stand because of her stance on watching this billionaire use his platform and what it's become. And she got roasted for it. Now, I just wanted to shout her out in the sense that I think she's on to something. And I just wanted to bring that up for people. Social media is great. I use it as well, and I enjoy it. A little fuckery and foolishness myself. I waste some time sitting here at this very desk listening to TikTok. But I'm not addicted to it, folks. And more or less, I just want to encourage people to use this time to start to, again, pull away from mediums that don't mean you any good. And recognize that the waters have changed. And we got a new tide coming in, and people have identified themselves on one side or the other. Respect that and make them own it. Brother Brenton says that he's petty like that. He's keeping account. I'm with you, Brother B. I know where we stand. Elections, folks, are like census. Now that it's over with, they know exactly where each segment is. They know right here in Georgia that in Fulton County, what we think versus Gwinnett County. Folks, recognize what's happening and don't be addicted to these platforms that use you, that take your time, take your money. Do you know that they are launching a all-black social media platform now? And I'm not one usually to advocate buy black, because us black people, we can be some sons of bitches that do shit to make ourselves our own enemies. We really can. But in this instance, I'm going to invite people to maybe try it out, because this man is the richest man in the world. And he's made it abundantly clear with Joe Rogan and the rest of the millionaires what they think of you. Mm-hmm. And the only way that you can fight back, folks, is where it hurts them most, in their pocket.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. You know, Amazon even doing some lives now. So I thought that's like, wow. I don't know if I'm watching no Candy Bears, but whatever. Yeah, I didn't know Amazon was doing live, but okay. Well, listen, y'all know I got a question for us. And so here's my question. What is a good time for a person to mind their own business? When is there a good time? When is it? Oh, okay.
All the time.
All the time. All right.
Kenny says, when you're a Karen and you see me standing there, mind your fucking business.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, sister. When should a person? When is there ever a good? Is there ever a good time that people should mind their own business?
When it's a crime being committed and somebody might see me doing it and I'm gonna get caught up.
Okay.
I ain't see nothing, didn't hear nothing.
That's it. That's it. Hear no evil, see no evil. I like it. Well, listen. Take a look at this and let's see if y'all can figure out who's trying to mind their own business. Here you go. I keep on falling in and out. Now, did you notice the man walking down the stairs?
Oh boy.
Now, I'm not really sure what. I know what the fools is doing. Listen, the dummies. Yes, Brittany. Did y'all notice the man minding his own business?
That was me. He probably said, "Hey, y'all, it's like a bad idea."
Right. Listen. So I know y'all was focused on the dummies, but pay attention to the man that literally is minding his own business here to your left. One more time, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. I keep on falling in and out. I mean, that brother didn't even try to help.
Well, why would you go?
He said, "My name Bennett. I'm not in it."
That ain't got nothing to do with me.
I'm not in it.
Wow. Listen. Maybe that's how the boy got in there in the first place, for fooling with that. So again, I don't know, but listen, y'all. I know we're in the world that we mind our own business, but listen, if y'all see two fools about to do something stupid like that, at least tell them, listen, let me go down first before you fools go down there like that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, please. That's not all. It's just let's be helpers one to another, please, y'all. He said he didn't even look at it. I know Kirk did it. That was so bad. But, yeah. Right. Whatever. All right, y'all. Listen, that's Devin, that's Kenny, and that's Lee Black. And we got a few more weeks, but we will see y'all again here on Monday. We out. Peace. Peace.